July is here, and that means it's the start of it's our annual Give Me a Break Back to School month. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jonathan Carmody. All this month, every Saturday, we're going to be taking a second look at all the issues we've been talking about during our back to school months. From truancy to your school supply list. We're going to give you all the hints and tips you need to make sure that your child starts out the good year of the 2025-2026 school year. But this is something very important that we must focus in on tonight. Because this has been going on. Everybody on TikTok is talking about it. All of the social media people are talking about it. It is all over the news. Texas, last week, passed a bill that says that all schools are required to have cell phone policies. Because of health reasons. Take a look at this.
It's time. Not just to go back to
use in schools across the state is about to change and about to end. Governor Abbott signed legislation Sunday banning students from using their cell phones and other personal devices during school hours.
News 10's Chris Cordova joins us with more on the challenges Central Texas school districts will face. Chris.
Lauren Gordon, come late September, school districts statewide will have to enforce a complete ban on personal devices during school hours.
I absolutely don't think the absence of cell phones will hinder learning in any way.
School districts across the state now have a new responsibility.
We see cell phone use as a hindrance.
With Governor Greg Abbott signing a statewide ban on personal devices for students in public schools, districts now have to enforce it and provide disciplinary action for violators. It's something State Representative Hillary Hicklin, who supported the bill, thinks has been needed for a long time.
So that was a big thing that we heard about from our public schools, is just what a distraction cell phone use is in classrooms.
School districts can either ban devices from campuses entirely or require students to lock them away. Districts like La Vega and Killeen ISD have done this already, providing magnetically sealed pouches for students to lock their phones in during school hours.
The kids are expected to have their cell phones locked in their pouch when they come through the door in the morning. We do have the administrators on duty that are checking those processes and routines in the morning.
KISD's Executive Director for Student Support Services, Michael Wells, has been managing the district's cell phone policy for the past school year. He says enforcement of the personal device ban has come with some challenges.
Getting the kids to understand the why and the expectations for what we're doing, and then set up those routines on a daily basis so that it can be the same. Every day they show up, they know exactly what to do.
And for parents, reaching their student at school is a big concern.
That is the biggest concern. For me as a parent, I want access to my children.
But Hicklin is confident school districts will be able to overcome these concerns.
It will be an adjustment, but I think overall having consistency across districts and even within districts will be a benefit.
And she's excited for the change in schools she hopes to see.
We'll see calmer classrooms, we'll see more focused students, we'll see teachers who don't have to be cell phone police constantly. Hopefully we'll see less behavior issues.
Now, school districts have 90 days to implement policies banning personal devices for students. Reporting in the studio, Chris Cordova, KWTX News 10.
You deserve the best at Harvard.
Now, later in this broadcast, you're going to hear what I have to say when I got to say all about this. But like I said, this state has, and later on, we're going to be looking into different states besides Texas that have laws. Now, the whole reason why I wanted to deal with this personally is because there are people out there that are angry about this, angry about this cell phone policy that's put in place. And so what I want to do basically, I'm going to give you a short version and I'm going to go into the long version here. So basically it's like, Dallas ISD, which we'll talk about in just a minute. When Dallas ISD heard that this state was passing a law, they just moved too quickly to making fines. If it's your first offense, it's going to be like a warning. First offense is a warning, the parent come pick it up. It's the second time, it's a $5 fine. Third time, it's a $10 fine. And the fourth time, it's a $15 fine. Now, before the law was introduced, schools had implemented their own policies. Like, you can only use your phone before school, during class periods, before school, and lunch and after school. Here in Five Bluff, years ago, we had what's called the BYOD, the bring your own device. It's where you just bring your own device, whatever. Their rules are you can only use it before school, during class periods, during lunch, after school, or the teacher gives you permission. But because the data that the school has found, they changed it to where you can only use your phone when the teacher gives you permission. The only time you're able to take out that phone is if you're in the classroom and the teacher gives you permission to take out your phone. Some people are with the bill, while others are against the bill. Joe Kramer posted about the cell phone bill last week. A lot of people have their own mixed opinions. So what do you think about this policy? Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback if you must. In the comment section below, and we'll be posting on social media. And we'll have the results soon on a future Give Me a Break. Next, some TikTokers that are very angry all about it, especially from this person right here. A bit later on, what more of what I have to say about this cell phone policy. Plus, still ahead, Dallas ISD's policy on the cell phones. Also, some states that have that cell phone ban bill put in place. Please stay with us. So we're devoting the 2 hours focusing on this cell phone bill that was passed by Congress. That is just passed by Congress just last week. And I know a lot of people are up in arms about this because they've not read the law. So what we're going to do is before we play the TikTok video, we're going to be looking into the law. This is under House Bill 1481. The House bill restricts the use of personal wireless communication devices by students during instructional time and while on school grounds. The bill aims to create a more focused learning environment, reduce distractions, and address issues like cyberbullying and social media misuse during school hours. So looking at this is all. This is all under House Bill 1481. It's an act. It does not apply to the total adults' education. As soon as possible, not later than the 90th day after the act, the Board of Trustees or a school district of the governing body shall adopt the policy required by Section 37.082 of the Education Code as But this is all underlined. A while attending school responsible activity. Preventing a student from being a community code. This is all under paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C. Paragraph 2, disposable. This is all disposable. So what you have here is just, this is the whole law. Statutes.capital.text.gov. So that's the law. That's the Indiana legislation. That's the whole summary of this House bill, So if you were to go to statutes.capital.text.gov, search something like a cell phone. Or you just click on home, you go to code, you click on the education code. Okay, section 37.082. This is on section 37.082 of the Texas Penal Code. You can feel free to review that online at www.statutes.capitol.texas.gov. It's not in the law yet, but once September 1st comes around, it's going to be taking effect. Now, moving on here, it's like a lot of people are up in arms. Parents are against this, and people are saying, well, because Uvalde, I got my child a cell phone. Well, that's good for you. That's good for you, but as a parent, you want to make sure your child is safe when it comes to schools. I mean, what if it was a school lockdown? You going to turn on the news? Well, take a look at this.
Say this. I just gotta say this. Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, and all you other assholes that are over at the Texas Capitol that just voted for kids to not be able to have cell phones last Sunday. I hope you remember that. Well, it's kind of messed up. Why is it messed up? You're always, oh, well, kids need to focus. They need to stay on track. But let's not forget that last year we had 24 shootings in 2024. The highest amount of shootings this whole nation saw. School shootings. Because kids, and they had active shooters on site. And the only way that they could get a hold of somebody was through their cell phones. But you want to make it a rule that they can't have their cell phones on because why? They need to focus in school. What about calling their parents and let them know they're safe? But you have to have their phones in a safe, secure location. You guys don't give a crap about kids. You get nothing. It's their lifeline. ET phone home. Something's gone wrong. But no, you'd rather just, what? What are you doing away with this for? Why can't kids have their cell phones? Oh, because maybe they're cheating, right? But you do nothing about pew-pew control in the schools to protect them. What, you're just going to hire more police officers so what, that they'll run? Remember Uvalde? Those cops didn't even get involved. Kids had to call their parents. They had to call the police. Let them know there's a school shooter on site. Massive floodings in on their phone systems. Oh, there's a school shooter on site. But you want to do away with their phones. And while everybody was all worried about the SB3 legal hemp in Texas, we want to be able to enjoy ourselves. This got signed into office. Got signed into the bills. And now he's got a special session on the books. And everybody's like, oh, they're gonna try to take away SB3 again. It's not even about that. It's about redistricting. They're putting into play everything that they can take away. Redistricting Texas so that they stay a Republican state. So that they can keep pushing this thing, like taking away rights from us, taking away our kids, their livelihoods, but they'll do not one damn thing about gun control. Not one damn thing. And my son was worried about that yesterday. He explained to me how, what if there's a school shooter, Dad? How will I get a hold of you? What, am I going to have to just get on the news while I'm at work? I'd rather him be able to have his phone to call me. But ChatGPT's doing their homework for him. Fuck you. Shame on you.
Look, there is a good point being made. There's a good point that he makes. You know, we've had last year there was 24 shootings. And remember Uvalde 3 years ago? Those cops wouldn't even get involved because, you know, the cops weren't there, so kids had to pick up their phones, not just calling parents, but calling the police saying there's an active shooter. And when you want law, and this was a good statement from James Nichols. Remember James Nichols? They searched his home during the Oklahoma City bombing, where Timothy McVeigh was arrested. He confessed to doing this. But James Nichols, Terry Nichols' brother, he said to Chris Hansen on Dayline back in 1995, saying, when you want laws passed, you have to create a situation. So what, am I saying that Governor Greg Abbott hired this person to go shoot up a school to create this bill? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying here is this. There are some pros and there are some cons. I'm going to give you some pros and cons when we return. Please stay with us. Everybody may be agreeing about this cell phone policy bill put in place, while others are disagreeing. Tonight for the next 2 hours, we're focusing on the cell phone policy as we begin our back to school month. And trust me, it's not what I want to begin with. You know, if this bill was not passed, then it would not be any distractions. But we'll go to the pros and cons in just a minute. But here is another TikToker that disagrees about the cell phone policy.
Students in Texas, this is your opportunity. I know that many of you are not in agreement with the new no cell phone policy for public high schools in Texas that Governor Greg Abbott just signed. And I want to hear from you. Tell me how you honestly feel. And you never know who's watching the comments. Lawmakers, other teachers, district leaders, principals. Maybe you can tell them something that they don't already understand about why you feel so strongly against having this no cell phone policy. Whatever your reasons, make them known. Help them understand your concerns and see your perspective and point of view. I already know what I think about the pros and cons of the policy, but now I want to hear from students because you will be directly impacted by this. And to the teachers who will read their comments, read to understand and gain perspective instead of listening to pass judgment.
So now let's go to the good and bad, the pros and cons of this. The pros are the goods, the cons are the bad. Okay? The good thing is it can end distraction in the educational process. Okay, that's good. Second, it would help prevent cyberbullying from happening. Okay? It could really be the misuse of social media. Okay, well, people are posting outside school property, or filming on school and posting outside school property. But if we were to Google up the cell phone law in Texas, pros and cons, there wouldn't be any pros and cons about it. But according to GovTech.com, Texas lawmakers decided to debate the pros and cons of the schoolhouse ban. They allow control. This is the whole article from GovTech.com. Cell phone bans that launched in some North Texas schools in recent years may extend statewide. Texas House members on Tuesday debated whether to prohibit students having their phones out during class time. The constant use of phones is contributing to a mental health crisis and triggering classroom management problems. Bailey Gen Z authored the bill told colleagues during a committee hearing. Educators are concerned about the way cell phones distract them from learning, exacerbate bullying, and aid to spread false alarms about school safety. 9 states have passed statewide policies that ban or restrict cell phone use in public schools as of earlier this month. The proposal allows for total control. This was from Caroline Fairley. The proposal allows for local control of public school district leaders deciding on deals with individual policies. Some campuses already have their own bans. An example of this is Lake Highlands High School, Richardson ISD, in its second year, requiring students to store phones in pouches that are magnetically sealed at the start of the day and are unlocked by special devices at dismissal. They're paying roughly $300,000 to use pouches to 8 secondary campuses. But the commissioner has endorsed such policies. Mike Morath. He's saying, I'm just thinking about Uvalde case and children who made the calls. And you know what he's referring to? This is referring to Uvalde. I don't want to die. Student tells me I want to dispatch from Uvalde. You remember Uvalde? All those the police were involved. So the kids had to call their parents and 911 saying, hey, I don't want to die. So it's like, all those kids are on lockdown. Oh, Uvalde's a good example for cell phone policy ban. No, it's not a good example. What if there was an emergency? Or even better, because, kids are applying to work because the parents have with the bills. Okay, what if their boss needs to get a hold of them, Can't do that because of the cell phone bill, but man. Bitch. It's just all the nag, because all the students are doing nag, and bitch. Because all the stereotypes are bitching about distracting the educational process. There's no need to bitch about distracting to the educational process. We all want to end distractions. What parents want is discipline and safety. And here's what we don't need. Of course we want to have a cell phone policy, but we don't need states to get involved in the child's health. And we don't want rights being taken away. And like I said before, I'm not saying that the state told this person to go shoot up a school so we can create this new law. Uvalde was the prime example that led to that cell phone policy. Because those kids were not locked in it, because they didn't follow those lockdown drills. Those kids were the heroes. They did the right thing. So you're blaming the kids. So are we blaming the kids for creating the cell phone policy? Absolutely not. We blame the state representatives for creating that law and for not focusing on the pros and cons. We want to end cyberbullying. We want to end false threats. We want to have people not post stuff on social media on school property. But this is what I don't agree with. What I don't agree with is banning I agree with having cell phones banned for the entire school day. Unless it was an emergency purpose or the teacher gives you permission. A lot of kids are asking their parents, okay, what am I going to do with this school shooting? I mean, it's like, what is mom and dad going to turn on the news while they're at work? Taking a day off of work to go run home to your child with ET phone home. If Uvalde was the reason to give your child a phone, that's great. That's beautiful. And that's not me being sarcastic. That's the truth. If that was the reason to get your child a cell phone, good choice. You need to make sure your child is safe. Like if I'm a father, what am I going to do if my child is involved in a school shooting? Am I going to get that phone call saying there's an active shooter? And I got to go pick my kid up? Well, it's be jabbed in the line. It's like when you're making gravy. Like if it's like the consistency of the law. It's like when you're making gravy. You start off with oil and flour to make a roux. If you put little milk in, it's too thick. If you pour a little more milk in, it's still too thick. Little milk in too thick. You want to pour the right amount of liquid in that roux to make a good consistency gravy. So once you find the good consistency gravy, like a little thicker or a little thinner, and you find it the right spot, then you know it's time. But when you taste that, if you taste the raw cereal flavor of flour, it's like, ugh, that's not what I want. But then you cook out the raw cereal flavor of the flour, and then you taste it again. A little better. Need some more salt. Need some more pepper. Then you try to taste it again. I like it. The right consistency is the right amount of law that needs to get passed. So, what do I say about all this? So, this is the whole question. This is the whole purpose. And believe me, it's not about, forcing policies, but Dallas ISD went a step ahead. They implemented fines. We're going to take you to Dallas ISD when we return. Please stay with us. Tonight we're focusing on the cell phone policy that was just passed last week by Governor Greg Abbott and will be taking effect September 1st. In it, all electronic devices will be turned off and will be banned, unless for other reasons. And ever since then, parents have been up in arms, and a lot of people are questioning about, okay, what's going to happen if there's another school shooter? Well, look no further. There's going to obviously be some answers to that. And some people you're about to meet say they're probably against it. Here's Lori Brown.
I only have TikTok, but it is like really drawing because it's like video after video after video, and it's like sometimes I'll tell myself like, okay, at 11:30 I'll get off, and then it's like 11:40, and I'm like, okay, 10 more minutes, and it's kind of addicting.
Isabella Cortez and Piper Freeman just completed 8th grade at Dallas ISD's Robert T. Hill Junior High. The school was the first in North Texas to start using Yondr pouches, magnetic locking devices that allow students to keep their phones with them. Richardson ISD soon followed at Forest Meadow Junior High, providing us this video.
It just made a lot of people mad about it because they couldn't have their phones.
Piper said the pouches, when enforced, help.
It can be really distracting when you see other kids on their phones in class.
Dallas ISD did not have a district-wide cell phone ban in the last school year. Piper's mom, Megan Freeman, says the new state law is needed.
I love it personally. I think that our school, or I guess maybe DISD or some of the schools that had already had this rule in place were villainized because of it. And, maybe you don't want to go to that school because they have that no cell phone ban there.
The new law does not require locking devices, but it does require that phones are secured away from students in some way. Freeman says she can understand why some parents have concerns.
I also have had that frustration where I'm like, oh man, I wish I could text my son and let him know this thing, or I wish I could text Piper and let her know this thing. So really what it's caused me to do is reevaluate my own communication with my children. I have to be a little bit more proactive with that, or I message the teachers.
As for emergencies, Yondr says law enforcement experts urge students to stay off their phones and quietly follow instructions. Classrooms also have desk phones for 911 calls. Freeman says her son, now in high school, has better social skills thanks to the cell phone-free lunch environment at Hill Junior High.
And he said, Mom, you can tell the kids who haven't had Yondr pouches because at lunch, all of us Highlanders, we're talking and we're visiting with each other, and everybody else is like this on their phone. He said they don't know how to communicate.
Bryan Adams High now also has Yondr pouches. Freeman, vice president of the PTA, says it caused a large drop in fights.
We don't have things starting by somebody said something and they're texting somebody else that causes some sort of issue, or somebody's taking a picture, or somebody's videoing some sort of something that they're going to send to somebody else, and then it causes an issue later. We just don't have that problem anymore.
House Bill 1481 requires school districts to have policies in place for students who break the rules, including the possibility of confiscating the cell phone. Texas will now join 9 other states that have similar cell phone-free schools. Clarice?
Lori, thank you. WGU's pre-licensure nursing program is your ideal opportunity to become an RN and earn your bachelor's in nursing.
So let's look at
But a cell phone is a big...
Let's look at Dallas ISD.
In most cases, cell phones will be no more inside Texas classrooms.
From an educational standpoint, it is a good thing because hopefully it will take away some of the distractions that students have during the day.
On September 1st, a statewide ban will go into effect, banning students from using cell phones or other electronic devices during school hours. Alliance AFD President Rena Honey says while most teachers support this new law, there's mixed feelings for some.
But then again, there are some issues that parents have with not being able to get in touch with their students if there's a crisis.
School districts are now left scrambling to revise their policies before the new school year. While many school districts across the Metroplex already have stringent policies in place requiring phones to be stored away or turned off, this new law gives districts only two options. One, to ban students entirely from bringing devices onto school property, or two, allow devices on school property but require them to be stored like in a pouch or backpack.
They need to survey those teachers, survey the principals to get their input and come up with the best decision.
On Thursday, the Dallas ISD board is expected to vote on its new cell phone policy, which would prohibit all devices on DISD campuses with a few exceptions. According to the new policy, each school could enforce the ban in its own way, but a district spokesperson says it's still trying to finalize the rollout process or the method campuses will use to collect the devices. But Honey says the big question now is if a school district opts to store devices, where the funding will come from.
I think especially the larger districts, there's a much larger price tag attached to this.
And this new law sets aside $20 million for districts to purchase storage like pouches. Again, this will allow districts to ban cell phones all day, not just only during instructional time. And again, that meeting is set for 6 p.m. In Dallas, Marissa Adamas, CBS News, Texas.
But I remember this. $10 fine, $5 fine, $10 fine, $50 fine. It's like, this is a true story because I remember doing it. I remember talking about this, you know. I never had a cell phone. And, you know, I've heard about policies they're put in place from schools, you know. You look up cell phone policy in school, or you search up things like no texting in class. Something like this. No, not like that. Like this.
Sydney, what are you doing?
Texting in class is against school policy. Cell phones should not be seen or heard. A teacher has the right to take it away. It will cost you $15 to get it back.
Yeah, it should not be seen or heard. That's because, you know, kids use cell phones to cheat. Or they just use them to not use it for emergencies. Like, you know, what if, you know, the parent has to contact the child for, like, the dentist appointment or something? You know? Here's a few clips from the principal was talking about cell phones. It's all about the cell phone, so here's one.
Now I have to meet with a student who was caught using her cell phone for the second time in the span of a week. So now she will be given an extended attention and won't get the phone back to the end of the year. Well, Lee, seems like you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
No, I had to text my mom I needed something for my humanities class.
I got a question for you. Who's Becca?
My best friend.
Well, it seems like she might have a little texting problem herself. Because as I was sitting here, you got a text from Rebecca.
Don't get her involved.
She's involved. But now I'm seeing that it's not just your mother, it's your friends as well.
It's inevitable.
Excuse me?
It's inevitable. We're 17 years old.
It's inevitable.
We're teenagers. What are we supposed to do without our cell phones?
I want to know what's so important that you took time out from learning marine biology. Do you normally text each other in class?
It is kind of a boring class.
I taught marine biology.
Oops.
Does that mean I'm a boring person?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
The class kind of is if you're not interested in it. You're learning about algae, and what's algae do? It sits there. I don't care about algae.
Algae sits there.
Yeah.
You know, you're breathing right now, the oxygen in the air?
Yeah.
Algae produces oxygen.
Yeah, red
by
algae, brown
photosynthesis.
algae. I know, but it's not very interesting.
I'm gonna call Rebecca down. I think she is in math class. Hey, Frank. Do you have Rebecca? Can you please send her down to the office? Thank you very much. I can't wait to see what was so important that she needed to text you in class. If Rebecca was texting her today, obviously it's been going on in class and the teacher has not been catching it. So my motivation to try to put an end to that. So Rebecca, how's marine biology class today?
Okay.
Doing anything you shouldn't be doing?
I don't think so.
You're starting to recollect some things now?
Hello.
So what were you doing in marine biology today?
Texting Lenny.
What was so important?
We got tickets to go see Maury.
Maury Povich?
Yeah. And so I just wanted to remind Lee that we were going and how crazy we were.
Do I look amused?
No, not at all.
Not at all. I was hoping you were going to tell me that you were texting about marine algae
Well, I mean,
or, photosynthesis.
most of the time I do.
You're being sarcastic. So let me state the facts. You're looking at not seeing your cell phone until June. You're looking at an extended detention and your mother coming in to get your cell phone, which you're going to give me right now. And you'll be serving a 90-minute detention today after school. I hope you didn't have any plans.
Anymore.
Good.
Don't worry, Shaq. The General gives you a break, whether it's on your car insurance
Or a break from your car.
Okay, thanks. Send them in. Okay. No student likes it when you call their parent and bring them in and make them privy to the information of what their child is doing in school. Ms. McClure, thank you for coming in. Earlier today we had a little incident with your daughter, Rebecca. I was addressing another student about excessive cell phone use in class. While I was addressing her friend about her cell phone, it beeped, and there was a text message from Rebecca. If this does happen again, what happens then, Rebecca?
Take it for good. Okay.
If that's the worst offense my daughter's had in 17 years, I should be coming down here to get an award. I understand you got a structure, but it's not that big a deal because it's a text message. So I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not being called in again for something like this.
Every student log book call that was signed by a parent, acknowledging what the rules are and what the punishments are. So if that was how you felt, I guess I have an issue with addressing it now after she's got caught using your cell phone.
I understand it. I mean, you can't have it interrupt school.
But the moral of the story is, Rebecca, not to text in class. You did, so I don't expect babysitting with you and your mother again regarding this issue.
have my phone back?
Your mother can have your phone back. And if she decides to give it to you, that's her prerogative.
And here's another one.
Earlier today, I disciplined Jordan for his use of profanity. And now I just found out he's in my office again. Hey, Jordan, nice to see you again. Second time today. Second time's a charm, right? Yeah. Apparently during lunch, Jordan decided to use his cell phone and call for an elaborate bagel order for him and his friends. So Jordan, you're having a pretty bad day. With profanity, you received a 60-minute detention earlier, and now, seems like you took it upon yourself to make a little bagel order during lunch today.
Yeah, I really love bagels.
What's wrong with the cafeteria food?
It's not always that good.
Not always that good. I always eat good things. Jordan, today's cheesesteak day. I love cheesesteaks.
Today they had cheesesteak, which we all find just disgusting.
How did you order the bagels?
Called them on my cell phone.
And you said, hello, my name is
Jordan.
Please deliver
Bagels.
How many bagels?
7 or 8.
Was it good?
Yeah, very good. Bagels are like some of the best things to eat. In the morning I like bagels and butter, but for lunch and dinner I prefer like a bagel with bacon, egg, and cheese, or Taylor and Hammer cheese.
So you eat bagels 3 times a day?
I think bagels are the bomb.
Students are not allowed to order food. This isn't a country club. In today's society, we don't take any chances, Jordan. Because we don't know what could be in that delivery.
Mm.
Are you supposed to have your cell phone on in school?
No.
Are you supposed to use your cell phone in school?
No.
Are you supposed to accept packages from strangers?
No.
For the second offense, Jordan, you have another 60 minutes tacked on to your detention. So that's 2 hours.
I really don't think I deserve that.
Well, if you don't think you deserve that, what are you going to think about when I demanded you give me your phone right now? This way I can assure you won't be making any more calls for delivery to the high school during the rest of the day. I truly believe that Jordan is a good kid and he made an honest mistake. It's my job to make sure I get the message across that it cannot happen again. And I'm confident that tomorrow he's going to return to that good kid that we know.
Here's another one.
No. Every day we have discipline issues that we have to address with students. And on a rare occasion, there are disciplinary issues we have to bring up with parents. We had a student receive a text message from their father in the middle of an English class. And our policy is there are no cell phones in school from 7:25 to 2 o'clock.
Principal Turner called me and said, got a little issue, and I'm thinking, Valerie, my daughter, doesn't have it. She's an AP student, good kid.
Okay, we're trying to cut down the cell phones. And Ari, the day, we received a text message. Lo and behold, it was from Dad. Ari got cut a break because she's a great kid. Typically the cell phone's taken. Does she understand that, or just honestly now maybe not?
Well, apparently not. I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know they couldn't be on during the school day.
Even during their lunches, they're not supposed to be using it.
Didn't realize that. So
it's tough when you have parents who communicate so well in the school and students who are so phenomenal. To have the teacher say, Ari is the one now who has a cell phone in class.
Yeah, I tried for that. It was I needed keys, and it was a time when I had the chance, I had the time, I could go ahead and fix. Yeah, she's got a bad power steering pump.
It'd be a lot easier for us not to have the students checking the cell phone.
I needed the keys, and
did you have any need for a cell phone when you were in high school?
No,
Probably didn't have a cell phone. If you need her next time, I can go to the class and get her. That's we'll give her keys for you, and we'll take care of it for you.
Do I get detention now?
No, neither does she. As long as we're on the same page, we're fine.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
And when I graduated high school, I was hoping that would be the last time I had to sit in front of the principal and be in his office. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, so...
It wasn't the case. Wow. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Before the cell phone laws were put in place, there were schools that had policies, like Melbourne. So let's take a look.
Cell phones are not allowed in this building when school starts. They're not to be seen.
I just got sent to Mr. Chase's office because I was texting in lunch and a teacher tried to take my phone, but I wouldn't give it to her.
You gave the teacher in the lunchroom a hard time?
Yeah.
Why? Who the heck do you think you are?
Okay. I was talking to my friends in lunch, and I sent one text message to my mom, who was calling me. You could check. And the teacher came running over. She started yelling in my face. She was like, "That's so disrespectful." I was like, "What am I doing to you? Like, I'm in my lunch. Like, this is my period off, and you're really gonna yell at me?" I don't even know this teacher. She just came at me out of nowhere and started yelling at me over my phone, which is so stupid and ridiculous.
So the bottom line is, this is defiance. Teacher asks you for the phone, you give her the phone.
But if I gave her my phone, I wouldn't have had a phone, and I need it for after school. I have work.
Bottom line is, you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. Who's driving the bus in this situation?
What bus are you talking about?
There's no actual bus, it's just a saying. The person who created the situation.
Oh.
Who created this whole situation?
The teacher.
That teacher in there was just doing what she's supposed to
She's
do.
annoying. I really don't think there's anything wrong with texting in lunch. I'm not in a class. I'm not missing lessons. Like, cut me some slack.
Unfortunately, I have to take the phone. You have to give it to your mother.
I have plans tonight. I can't not have my phone. I don't know if my mom can pick it up. I need to go out with my phone.
Kate.
Are you serious?
Yeah, here we go.
I need to make plans with my phone.
Kate, unfortunately, you put us both in the middle of this silly situation.
No, the teacher did.
No, the teacher did her job.
My cell phone is like, I can't function without it. I need it on me at all times.
Thank you. Right. You're suspended tomorrow.
Are you serious?
Yes.
For texting in lunch?
No, for having the cell phone out and not giving it to the teacher. If she had just given the phone to the teacher when it was requested, she would have gotten 2 central office detentions. Instead, by not giving it to her and being disrespectful, she got suspended for a day. Good luck, Kate.
Mr. Jake said I'm in charge of the situation and I'm gonna be driving the bus. So I'm gonna drive this bus all around town tomorrow and not drive to school. And it's gonna be great.
You deserve the best.
Here's another video. A phone home.
Hey, yo, you want to mess with me? You want to mess with me during a security thing? You can be arrested for this.
I just received a write-up about a junior student that was caught in the hallway with a cell phone. I have to call him down and we'll go over the regulations.
Without a cell phone in school, it's just like the worst thing ever. There's nothing else to do. School's boring as it is, and you need a way to interact with other people.
What is the rule here at Manalapan High School as far as cell phones are concerned?
No cell phones.
Well, our conversation's over. Enjoy your 2 detentions.
I'm not happy with that. She's not even my teacher. I was just
No. You're missing the point. Okay, you're missing the point. The point is this: you're the one who made the decision to do the incorrect thing. You have 2 central office detentions for having that cell phone out.
I don't think it's fair.
Here, call mom on the phone right now and tell her you got this 2 central office detentions.
My mom would be too mad. I think she'd be more mad at Mr. Tate for taking it too seriously. Mom, I got in trouble today in school. My phone got taken away, and I got 2 central office detentions. I feel like it wasn't my fault, though. She just took my phone away. She's not my teacher. It wasn't even my fault. Yeah. Alright. She's mean.
I got it back. Thank you.
She's very mean.
No, your mom's right. It's written in the handbook. She signed for it. Mom said it better than I could have said it. Goodbye, Ryan. Have a good day.
I'm very mad that she took Mr. Tank's side. When I get home, I'm gonna get a piece of my mind about that.
His mom backed us up 100%. He shouldn't have it. Mom said she's going to take it for a month.
All right. Now, are there any laws? Now the question that everyone's asking is, besides Texas, are there any other laws that have the cell phone policy put in place? The answer may surprise you. We'll look at that when we come back. Stay with us. Okay. Are there any other states besides Texas that have the cell phone policy ban put in place? Well, the answer may surprise you. Yes. A growing number of states are banning cell phones in schools. According to Axios.com, banning cell phones in schools almost always with bipartisan support. Parents divide over these policies, which are meant to reduce distractions and boost socialization of children. Here's where it stands. 8 states have banned or restricted cell phones in schools. These 11 states, as of December, were considering legislation to ban or restrict cell phone use in schools per health nonprofit. Research has found that excessive cell phone use can impact children's mental health. So here's where it stands as June 6. Most of these states that are in gray have no ban, like New Mexico, Nevada. The gray ones are the ones that have no ban. The ones that are in black borders are the ones that have ban passed but not enacted. Policy recommendation pilot program, legislation introduced, ban restrict. So the red ones right here, like Florida, that's ban and restriction. Louisiana. And these ones right here, they're the ones that are not enacted. But this was, as of Texas, the statewide ban was introduced. But now looking at December 23rd, looking like 2024, the ban is introduced, while others have a ban or restriction. In the state of North Carolina, they have the cell phone ban. So, by taking another deeper look, 14 states. Texas has already passed their laws. 25 states already have. So, looking at this bill, Texas law. So, looking at all this, the gray ones already have the bans, like New Mexico, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Mississippi, Hawaii, Alaska. The yellow ones have law. In Minnesota, law requires issues adopt policy or cell phones, but doesn't satisfy the requirements. In Colorado, it's the same thing. 3. So looking at all of this, Texas, notwithstanding other laws such as C, the Board of Trustees and School District are governing a body policy. That's House Bill 1481, which was just passed on June 20th of 2020 of this year. So, where do I stand about all of this? Looking back at the pros and cons, the thing you gotta remember here is this. Yes, we want to end distraction to the educational process. But when it comes to, emergencies, it's like a written note. Like, what do you mean you gotta have a written note? Like, what do you mean? Like, I have to have a written note put in place. It's like, what do you mean I have it written up, put in place? Well, of course. Of course we want it written up, put in place. Of course we want all of that. But what we do want is to end distraction to the educational process. Videos. And like I said, there are videos that talk about no texting in class. Not videos to where to where they talk about no texting. Like this one.
Then there's a call for a Second Continental Congress that meets in 1775. It was at the Second Continental Congress that an army was raised. They dispatched an expedition, or the Continental Congress Army dispatched an expedition to force Quebec into the Revolutionary Union. So, I mean, it's bloody. There's a war, and it takes many years for this to kind of come to fruition. Colin, are you texting? Sorry, I'm speaking. I have a strict policy about texting.
Damn! Look at this. Just look at that student's face. Like, look at his face. He's like, did he just do that? And look at the guy and go, now we have evidence. I'm taking us to the principal. Mr. Crenshaw. What? The teacher broke this dude's cell phone. He put it in water. Look at the video. You son of a bitch. Step on a crack and break a teacher's back. My back. But nearing to the end of this episode, of our Back to School Month episode, here are some Law by Mike videos talking about the cell phones. Take a look.
Teachers often ignore school policy when they confiscate phones. You could lose your phone if you don't know what to do. Let's make sure you're ready by testing your skills and see if you can get your phone back. Caught you, buddy. Hand over the phone. Thank you. Don't be confrontational. Teachers can confiscate phones, and being combative could cause you to lose your phone for longer. Hey, what's the passcode? I need to see what's so important. Ugh, worth a try. Teachers usually can't make you unlock your phone unless they have reasonable suspicion that you committed a crime and evidence of that is on your phone. Whatever then, say goodbye to your phone for the rest of the year. Teachers are not allowed to confiscate phones indefinitely because it's not their property. Hey, what do you want?
Yeah, school policy says you're only allowed to take my phone until the end of the period.
Oh, fine.
Mr. Atkin, can we see you in the principal's office, please?
Snitch! Teachers often ignore school policy. Can your last meal? If a teacher takes your phone, can they make you unlock it?
Oh my gosh, stop trying to go through my phone.
0001, no. 0002, no. Is it Face ID?
Mike, you can't do that, right?
99% of the time, teachers do not have the right to go through your phone.
What's the 1%?
Excuse me, this is English, not math. 0004, no. 0005. Number one, if a teacher wants to go through your phone, the first thing they can do is ask for your consent. Can I?
No.
Number two, if that doesn't work, your teacher would need reasonable suspicion of a crime or violation of school policy. and evidence of that on your phone. Exactly. I've been seeing memes of me all over social media, and I know this little brat has been making them.
Memeing isn't a crime, and if it was, lock me up and throw away the key.
And number 3, if the teacher doesn't have that, then only the cops with a warrant can get in there. Even if they were using it in class? Yep. And it was disruptive? Yep. Fine, but I'm still holding this until the end of the day.
Go ahead. I'll be back after next period. I'm gonna go to the computer lab and, not make more memes.
Mike, I'm giving you detention, but I'm in my 30s.
Detention!
If a teacher takes your phone, can they make you unlock it?
Oh, last time I picked up a...
Decide.
What you should do if a teacher breaks your phone.
Hey, text my mom.
Not anymore, you're not.
Why?
No phones in class.
Isn't that a little extreme, Mike?
It is. Number 1, teachers most likely have a right to take your phone, but they're not allowed to damage it in any way, as it's yours or your parents' personal property.
That means he has to pay for the damages, right, Mike?
That's right. Oh man, I could barely afford school supplies.
You know, a new iPhone is like $1,000, right?
That's more than I make in a year. Number 2, if your phone is damaged in your teacher's possession, then you can file a complaint with the school.
Oh, yeah. You better believe I'm going full Karen on him to the principal.
Mike, please stop. And number 3, if your teacher or school refuses to pay damages, then you can take them to small claims court.
Whoa, that's awesome. Mike, will you be my lawyer?
Nope.
Oh.
Because in small claims, you don't need one, and you can sue your teacher all by yourself.
This is the best day of my life.
Whoa, 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 we don't have to get hasty. Here's your phone back.
Bro, I'm so suing you.
What you should do if a teacher...
And that's what you should do if your teacher breaks your phone.
Can teachers take your phone during school? Mr. By Mike, hand it over. Most of the time they can until the end of the day.
Right.
But they legally can't look through it. Unless, number 1, it's an emergency. Billy's not breathing. I'm gonna get his emergency contact info from his phone. Can't you get that from the office? Or, I don't know, shouldn't you just call 911? Shouldn't you mind your own business? Number 2, sign a consent form. Your snap streaks are wicked. Hey, you and or your parents / legal guardian signed this waiver. Number 3, you give permission. Let me see what's so much more important than 4th century Nordic history. Fine, but you can only look at my texts. Got it. Instagram and TikTok only. No. Even if you give permission, if you specify what they can or can't look at, it's a violation if they snoop in restricted areas. And number 4, judge issued a search warrant to sift through his photos. Finally, let's see what type of emails he's been sending. No, freak. If there's a warrant, the cops will likely be the only ones searching, but they can still only search what is specified in the warrant. Can teachers take your phone during school? Mr. By Mike, hand it over.
The answer is yes.
Can teachers take your phone overnight? I'll be taking that. This is mine until the end of the school year.
What? He can't do that.
You're right, he can't, unless...
Unless?
Number 1, teachers can hold onto your phones for as long as your school's administrative policies allow for.
And you and your parents signed and agreed to the policy when you were admitted to the school.
What? Number 2, some policies say teachers can keep your phone until the end of the day, while others say that they can keep it until a legal guardian comes to retrieve it.
And how are you going to call your mommy when you don't even have your phone?
However, number 3, teachers can't keep your phone indefinitely, as it's still your or your parents' personal property.
Oh. Yeah, what does the administrative policy say?
I'm allowed to keep your phone until the end of the school day.
Ha! I'll be back after 5th period, and you better have my phone. And make sure it's charged when I get back.
Can teachers take your phone?
How about making you pay?
Can teachers make you pay to get your phone back?
This game sucks.
Here, let me try it. Oops, your phone's mine now.
Come on.
If you want it back, then you gotta pay the bail.
Oh, what? Microtransactions in school? Mike, is that allowed?
It depends. Number 1, whose policy is it? It's my policy. You're in my classroom where I'm God. Right, but is it a policy that the school district has? Like a rule that we can find that you and your parents would have agreed to?
I don't see it anywhere, Mike. I think he pulled it out of his ass.
You can't say that. Phone bail is now set to $30. Number 2, how long has the rule been in place? Since I caught this little miscreant killing and zip-zapping in my classroom. Nope, the policy needed to be established before the infraction was committed.
Yeah, you can't just make up policies like that on the fly.
No back talk. $50. Number 3, if your teacher didn't follow the policy, you can bring it up with the school district.
Mr. Eckham, can we see you in the principal's office, please?
Ooh. Mike, you got my phone out of phone jail.
Yeah, I'm a little... Can teachers...
That's right. All right. So, once September 1st passes, that bill, after Labor Day, we'll let you know what happens. But until then, here's what you need to know. The state of Texas has passed the bill. And parents, if it's an emergency, if you need to contact your child for important things, you contact the teacher. And let them know beforehand, like, oh, I gotta run him at his dentist appointment. Read the law closely. And one final note, Dallas ISD has already implemented their cell phone policy by implementing offensive fines. If it's a first offense, there's no fine. If it's a second offense, it's a $10, it's a $5 fine. The third offense is a $10 fine. The fourth offense is the $15 fine. So if you're in a Dallas ISD area and you see that policy put in place, you need to make sure you are aware. And if you're watching this episode right now, you also need to be aware about this cell phone policy. Because it's been going on, and a lot of people on TikTok are venting in frustration. Let's take one final look. Let's recap this video.
I just gotta say this. Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, and all you other assholes that are over at the Texas Capitol that just voted for kids to not be able to have cell phones last Sunday. I hope you remember that. Well, it's kind of messed up. Why is it messed up? You're always, oh, well, you know, kids need to focus. They need to stay on track. But let's not forget that last year we had 24 shootings in 2024. The highest amount of shootings this whole nation saw. School shootings. Because kids, they had active shooters on site. And the only way that they could get a hold of somebody was through their cell phones. But you want to make it a rule that they can't have their cell phones on because why? They need to focus in school. What about calling their parents and let them know they're safe? Well, you have to have their phones in a safe, secure location. You guys don't give a crap about kids. You get nothing. It's their lifeline. ET phone home, something's gone wrong. But no, you'd rather just, what? What are you doing away with this for? Why can't kids have their cell phones? Oh, because maybe they're cheating, right? But you do nothing about pew-pew control in the schools to protect them. No, you're just going to hire more police officers, so what, that they'll run? Remember Uvalde? Those cops didn't even get involved. Kids had to call their parents, they had to call the police, let them know there's a school shooter on site. Massive floodings in on their phone systems. Oh, there's a school shooter on site. But you want to do away with their phones. And while everybody was all worried about the SB3, legal hemp in Texas, we want to be able to enjoy ourselves. This got signed into office. Got signed into the bills. And now he's got a special session on the books. And everybody's like, oh, they're gonna try to take away SB3 again. It's not even about that, it's about redistricting. They're putting into play everything that they can take away. Redistricting Texas so that they stay a Republican state. So that they can keep pushing this thing, like taking away rights from us, taking away our kids, their livelihoods, but they'll do not one damn thing about gun control. Not one damn thing. And my son was worried about that yesterday. He explained to me what if there's a school shooter, Dad? How will I get a hold of you? What, am I going to have to just get on the news while I'm at work? I'd rather him be able to have his phone to call me. But ChatGPT's doing their homework for him. Fuck you. Shame on you.
That's all for now. I'm Jonathan Carpenter. Stop bullying, speak up, no jaywalking. Take care of yourself and each other. Concentration, not strength. Autism is not disability. It's your superpower. Thanks for watching.